Hello my friends, Dave FX Hunter here with another Forex market preview for the following week, which is gonna be from the Monday 16th till the Friday 20th. So we're going to have a football World Cup final today, and I hope that from the next week we're gonna have a lot of volatility, which could be brought by some USD releases by the core retail sales and the retail sales. But what another important news could be is Aussie monetary policy meeting, and these data from the England, which is gonna be the Carney speaking, and the average earning index and the inflation's data. As well on the Tuesday for the dollar will be speaking the Fed Chair Powers, and there as well will be of course the crude oils, and again the Fed Chair Powers will be speaking. And what as well is important for the Aussie unemployment change, and the Friday we're gonna have inflation from the Canada. So this is gonna be for this following week, but the next week is pretty boring. There's nothing special. There's gonna be just the ECB. Sorry, not this one. I want to do this one. There's gonna be just the ECB press conference and score inflation data from the Australia, and that's pretty much it. Nothing much interesting. So next week is gonna be mainly about the euro. So I expect that this week could be pretty volatile, but the following week is like in the next 3 weeks, which is pretty far from now. But look at this, it's gonna be pretty hell. So we're gonna have a lot of news from the Japan. We're gonna have important news from the Canada, from the Australia definitely, and as well there's gonna be the FOMC as usually on the beginning of the next new month. And this is gonna be pretty interesting about the pound. And of course the Friday is NFP. So what this tells me is that maybe the banks can't use these news for moving the market. So maybe the pound might see the sideways action till these news could be used for the move higher. But let's see. This is just the speculation, and we don't see the chart yet, and we don't know what to expect. So let's check the charts, and we're gonna start as usual with the dollar index. So dollar index is let's start on the weekly. We can see that we've been moving higher, and now we are below this supply zone where we are still consolidating and getting these pins. So the market is still rejected. However, it's this consolidation is interesting for me for one specific reason, because if we check the data, we can see that the market makers are still adding the longs. So in couple weeks in a row, their longs positions, let me change the color so we can see that better. In the longs positions, you can see that they still rising the longs. However, the last week they reduced it a little bit, and they reduced the shorts as well. So what does it tells me is this. If we look to the daily chart, we can see that we are in this consolidation. We are in this consolidation, and as we see that they basically from the last week they reduced their longs position from the 40k to 37, which was represented from this candle into this candle. So they reduced their longs, and they reduced their shorts. In that week before, we can see that they actually added some longs, and they still remain very similar. But as well they've been adding the sorry for this one, as well they've been adding you can see they've been adding the shorts. So they basically doing this consolidation in this zone, and what we can see is that while the market is lower, they still adding their longs positions. So maybe they want to break higher, this break through this consolidation through this supply zone, which I don't have confirmed yet, because we need more time to see this clear. By the technicals, what I see is that we have this uptrend line which is broken and it's being retested now. So basically, by the pure technical analysis, we should see some drop lower, which I actually expecting that it could happen, but it's pretty soon to do any decisions now. So the situation is not very clear for me, and I see much more other pairs with better opportunities than to trade the pairs against the dollars. So let's move further. So now we are looking to the gold. Gold is under strong downtrend on the almost all time frames. Actually, basically, what do we see here on the weekly? We have came into this zone, which is the demand zone, and we see the sideways for 2 weeks. The market is moving higher, lower, but now we are closing with a lower low, and this demand zone was actually the overshoot. It was by just one paper. Let me check if I put it like this, and so we can see, if I check the low, it's 1 2 3, it's 1 2 3 6 5 2 7, and this one is 1 2 3 6. So it didn't make the lower low, so it's fine. So that means that this demand zone is still holding. However, what do I expect here? I don't see any signs of the bullishness yet, and this consolidations is having the profile on this high. So basically, what could happen is that they could go higher to suck in some bulls and then drop the price lower, because I believe a lot of people is already taking a longs, and what the market will do, basically they will come down to take these stop losses. Here it's gonna be a big stop losses cluster, so they will probably first clean it out, and then they could use these stronger demand zone for the move higher. So let's see how this is gonna be played. If I check the data, we can see that let me clear this. We can see that they basically they are adding some long positions. However, they added as well some shorts, so they're still rising it. And the market compositions is now for the 62% longs and the 38% shorts, which is still seems like a bullish. However, in the gold it doesn't mean like this, because if we look into the past, they still holding some positions, you know. So even the open interest is in the positive numbers. That's it's not so bullish as it was in the past here. So not any clear scenario right now, and I actually personally have a long trade, but I have tight stop loss, and if they will take me out, I will take the stop loss, better than to hope it will go up. So let's see with this one, and yeah, so this one is it's still bearish for me under the strong trend, and I would better look for some shorts higher and go lower than to take a long set. For the clear bullish trade, what I want to see is to create a high above this profile, then the retest of the trend line and the move higher. So this could happen. If this happened, the nice trade will be here, but right now it's a bit gamble. I made this mistake that I'm already in the trade, but I think I can take the stop loss, so it's no problem for me. So let's move on. Okay, this is Aussie. Aussie is the one of the weakest pairs as well. Is still under the very bearish downtrends. However, on the daily chart, what is happening here? It looks a little bit bullish for me, because we are still getting here the close. We see the spin bars. We see nice volume when the market is growing up. And what do we see here is this monthly profile, and we can see this nice demand zone which was created when this supply zone was removed, and now we see the retest and potentially we could see the move higher into this daily supply zone, from where basically I want to see and I believe that we will expect to see the drop lower, because if you look into the weekly, we can see this weekly supply zone which is nested with the daily demand zone. So as on the daily chart I was showing this this potential trade. This trade is basically means that if we go higher here, let's go here, and from here I will be looking for the shorts. Why I would be looking for the shorts is pretty simple, because if we check the bank's positions, they are pretty heavily on the short side. They're very negative open net positions, and they are 10% more than average. And as well, we can see that they still reducing their long positions, and the shorts are very aggressive. So I don't believe this one will go up in the near future, but this retest, this daily retest of this previous supply zone is potential, and it seems for me more potential this happen than the euro should go up. So this one is I am slightly bullish, and I'm looking forward to get a little bit higher before I take proper short down. Now we are looking to the euro. So what do we see here is basically this sideways movement where we are in this range and we are going up and down. We have the monthly profile on the low, which is telling me that there is some effort to take a price higher, and we can see every move up, we can see that the volume is coming in, so it's a little bit like something like a supporting the move higher. As well, what do I see on the weekly chart? We can see that we are getting this pin bars always where the price move lower, they move it higher, and always they close with the higher close. You see that the close of the candle, okay, not this one, but the price is still closing higher. Even this one is it's closing the bearish candle, but still it's closing higher than this low. So there is some effort to move the price higher, but it's not so bullish for me yet. If I bring this chart into here, so what does it tells me is very simple, and I will put the daily chart so we can see that clearly. So what do we see here is this. Let me show you. So we see that the banks are actually, if we can check that from the last Tuesday, they closed from the 189,000 longs to 1,070. They basically closed 10k longs, which happened in this movement up. As well, they always reducing their longs. You can see this happening between this blue candles. It's the period when this happened, and what does it tell me? That they are reducing their longs for the one specific reason, and as well you can see that they are adding shorts. So basically every time where the price is on the low, they adding some longs positions, and they are reducing them on the tops. Always when the price is higher, they close their long positions. So what that means is that there is an effort to move the price higher, and when they're gonna be higher, they will be adding the shorts. So basically they already adding the shorts because they need the liquidity, and they just cannot move the price higher and open 100,000 shorts. So they basically what they're doing is they have the longs positions which they've been hedging from the tops, and now they're using these positions to close them and move the price higher. And where they adding the shorts, so they basically adding the shorts, and every time when the price is higher, they closing the longs. So they doing just something like a balancing of the market, and potentially I'm expecting the further drop lower, which I want to show you on the weekly time frame what I'm expecting here. So I believe that they could come in this area, where they will be probably making some potential more shorting. Yeah, so this is basically what I'm expecting here now, and everything is telling me that it's gonna happen, but maybe it's gonna happen a little bit earlier. Let's see, but I don't want to short now. I want to see first the move higher and then the momentum shift. Yes, as well, someone could probably see here this this one, which is like this head and shoulders. Yes, and this theory says that when this is completed, they will short here. It's basically a little bit late for me. My technique says to sell here on this supply zone. So if this happens, I will be very interested to sell here. Till now, till this happened, I'm not too much interested in this pair to trade it because the market offers me much better opportunities than this one. This is the pound. This is the pound against the US dollar. It's a very similar situation on the on this pair as well as on the euro. However, in here, what do we see here is that this market consolidation, we can see that we have this trend line which been broken and now is being retested with this nice pin bar and supported with the volume. So basically we could go higher, and there we will potentially see maybe more shorts. However, maybe not, but however, this tells me to clearly go higher on the price action, and in the long term I expect the price to go lower as well with the stronger dollar, but it's question of the future. For now I'm expecting to move higher. And if I check it on the 4 hours chart, here we can see some new demand zones with strong volume, so some retests and move higher is telling me that could happen. We actually in my signals group with the members, we already have a long from here, and here we've been almost taken out on the lock at stop loss, but it didn't happen, and market is moving higher. So we're holding the positions, and when this profile will be broken, I will be looking to add more longs for going higher. What does the bank's numbers says? They are still more in the long sides, and what I believe now is happening is that on the short side, actually, sorry, but what I believe is happening now is that they've been reducing their shorts. You can see that they reduced their longs a lot, and they adding shorts. So basically they moving price higher now, and they will be definitely want to be shorting more, because if you look at this composition, this is very bearish. This is very bearish. So if this move higher, I will be definitely looking for the shorts around this area. So let's wait what's gonna happen then. This is the Kiwi. Kiwi is one of the weakest currency, and basically I believe that this one will be punished a lot. I was expecting this one to go higher, but not so soon. Not so soon. Here is happening something similar like on the pound. We can see that we have this trend line which was retested here, and basically now it could go higher. So let's see if this is gonna happen. Yeah, and what does the number says? Let's check the numbers. So numbers is telling me that we are very bearish. We are very bearish. I don't want to take longs on this one, because if you look to the banks, they've been reducing their longs a lot, and they still adding some shorts, and this is like 75% to 25%. It's crazy numbers. However, what I already have in my experiences from this COT trading, when the numbers gets so extreme, the market's mostly the reverse. So we can see, like here in this history, we can see this number 73, which appears like 20th March, and if we look to the chart, it's I think it's this one. It's not this one, but this one. 20th March. Where is that? Yeah, this one. So look at this. This one, yeah. So this candle, when the market was like 73% on the longs, it's this 70%, 75. It's basically mostly getting the extreme. You know, they never can be like 100% on the longs, on the shorts, because that means that the banks will own like everything. You know, that's impossible. But these numbers are mostly telling me that there's some reversal is coming. However, if these numbers happening, it doesn't mean that the reversal is coming right now. So what I basically expect now is some sideways action. Then maybe if I will see that they will be reducing their shorts and adding more longs, then the potential reversal and move higher is here. If the market will be moving higher without adding any proper positions of the longs, and they will be still growing their shorts, I will expect something like the drop lower. So let's see how this data will be in confluence with the price action. So this is it for the Kiwi. For me, not interesting yet. However, the price action says that the long is possible here if this is broken on the 4 hours chart. This is the USD CAD. USD CAD is nicely in this uptrend on the weekly chart, and as well we have this broken monthly trend line, which I expect now it will be retested before we move higher again. And this we can see as well on the daily, because on the daily we are as well in the nice uptrend. However, the nice supply zone and the zone where I will be interested for the longs is this one, or as well this zone of these the profiles. So if the market drop lower here, I will be adding first position with the wider stop loss. I don't mind, I will add a small position, and the second one I will be adding somewhere here around 127 if the market goes down, and I will be targeting it higher. If the market doesn't pick me up here, then and they break higher, I will be looking for the positions to add on the retest. So this is my trading plan. And what does the COT data say? So if we look at it for the CAD, we can see that the banks are bullish definitely on this one, because I remember well that I want to be selling, buying everything against the CAD. So we can see nicely on this one. We can see nicely how this spreadsheet works. You can see that here on the March the banks became very bullish against the CAD, and you can see that from there the stop changed it into the green numbers, and from this one everything is going to the top. And as well, again, we are getting to the 70%, which is like something like a maximum. And what's happening on the 70%, 75% is that when the banks are in these numbers, they mostly start to do the profit taking. So probably what we could see is to move the price higher and take the profits here before it drops lower, or maybe they will drop it lower and then higher again. So let's see on this one. This is the US dollar Swiss franc. It's very similar like on the all other pairs. On the weekly we can see that again we have this nice weekly uptrend line. We have created new higher high, so that's why I had to draw this trend line, because I have a high, drop, base and rally again, and we are now in this supply zone which is being retested. What is here again, the very important thing that happened is that we have broken this trend line which was retested, and now retested this weekly trend line. So I see a lot of further the move higher on this one, but maybe this one. The question is, what is driving this market up? Is it the strong dollar, or is it the strong dollar or weak franc, or is it the like dollar which is moving the sideways and the very weak franc? I believe that it's very weak franc, and it's very similar as well on the Japanese yen. So on the daily, what do we see here? We see that the market was an uptrend, and we came into the supply zone where we can see this nice pin bar. So basically, yes, following, there could be potential long up when this end of this consolidation happened, but now definitely some retest and then move higher. So for the trade, it's not interesting at the moment, but definitely the lower could be in this area, could be nice to taking some long trades. As well, we can see that here on 4 hours, here is two supply zones which are taking the control now and dropping the price lower. And next one is Japanese yen. Japanese yen is very bullish, and it was shown by the numbers by the banks. So what do we see here is that the banks actually, this is the franc. You can see how big bullish numbers they have. Yes, and as well they're getting into the 85%. So most of the pairs are getting into the 85%, and I believe that it could means the reversal. Let's see. This is something what I will definitely learn from this experience. But let's go to the Japanese yen, and what is here is this. So we see that the Japanese yen, we have this consolidation, and it breaks higher very strongly. It breaks through this monthly downtrend line, through this weekly downtrend line, which as well created this new higher high. So I had to draw this new trend line. So right now we are in the weekly bullish uptrend, and on the monthly we have a broken trend line, which means we are in the monthly bullish consolidation. This Japanese yen on the daily came into this supply zone, so I believe we could see nice drop lower, from where I will be looking for the longs move when the market will be moving higher. On the market compositions, we can see that the banks added massive longs in this period from this Tuesday to this Tuesday, and you can see that they added these numbers. They reported them in this candle. In this one on the Tuesday they reported 100,000 longs, and then the market, bam, it's massively moved higher. So I believe in this demand zone there will be some more orders to be filled for the potential move higher. And this is it for the majors. Yeah, here on the 4 hours, this is what I expect to drop it. But will I take a short? No, I will not. I will wait for the long here lower, because this is the counter trend trade, and I don't trade against the trend. So basically, this was all the majors, and from the banks numbers and from the price action, what do I expect is a weak yen pair. So that means you could be looking for the longs on the cross pairs against the yen, and as well what do I expect is the weak franc, so longs against the franc. The dollar will be sideways, or maybe a little bit weakening, but I think that they will be waiting for the next week news, which they could use, or next week, or like 2 next weeks, which they could use to the move price, to the drop price lower. And as well the Canadian dollar will be very weak. So let's see what this brings for the opportunities in the next week. So let's go to check the cross pairs. As usually, we start with the Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD is in this nice consolidation, and what do I see here is these pin bars. the strong pin bar, this one with a nice volume, so it tells me that we could move price higher, as well as I know that thanks to the numbers that the CAD is very weak, and the price action on the Aussie, what we saw was that the trend line broken and we moving higher, so that tells me that this pair could go likely probably higher. So this one, Aussie CAD, I will be looking for the longs. This is the Aussie yen. Aussie yen I have already long, and I expect it to go higher. However, as I said, all yen pairs are getting into this supply zone, so I believe that there's gonna be some retracements going on in maybe next in the beginning of the week, but then in the long term we will be going higher. So actually the intraday traders, they could be looking for the shorts on the yen pairs because of these corrections, but in the long term definitely only the longs. So the Aussie yen, I will be looking for the longs. I actually already have a long trade, but I will be adding one more if the price drop lower, and I will see nice momentum shift. On the 4 hours we are still in the uptrend, and we will see how the price will be moving here. So as I said, intradays for the shorts after the confirmation of the break and the retest, and the long term I'm looking for the longs. Yeah, this is the Aussie Kiwi. Aussie Kiwi is one of the pairs which a little bit pissed me off, because I was expecting the Aussie to be stronger than the Kiwi for a long time, and I had the plan to take a trade here, and I wasn't filled in by just a couple pips, because my demand zone was in the time drawn like this one. So you can see that I missed it. I missed that as just by the couple pips. So I'm not in this trade, and then I was actually trying to enter the trade again, and the only trade which I took was the short here. It was the counter trend, and right now I'm not in the trade because I didn't know what's gonna happen here, and the market surprised me. So, but overall it's better not to be in the trade you want to be than to be in the trade you don't want to be. So basically what I'm trying to waiting now to happen is that I want to see the break or absorption of this imbalance, and on the daily chart if the price drop lower, and then I will be looking for the longs with the targets in here. If not, I'm not gonna take any trade in this one, because of course it looks bullish to me, but I don't like to take long here and put stop losses, because most likely the market will come to take these stop losses in here. So with this one I will wait and I will watch it closely during the week. This is the euro dollar, euro Aussie. Euro Aussie is from the weekly view looks very bearish to me. I mean the price action, yeah, what do we see here is this trend line. We can see this retest supply zone, yes, and from here I'm expecting this drop to happen. However, I have a little bit I'm a little bit thinking about this, if this is gonna happen, because if we check this daily chart, we can see that in this consolidation I can see that this candle, this bullish candle with this nice volume is telling me that you can see all of these bottoms are supported. So basically maybe we can break higher, yes, and what is as well important for me, because if I check this one, let me show you this. If we look to the euro Aussie, we can see that the retail traders are very too much to the short. So you know, the thing is that this one, everyone see this on the chart, yes, everyone see that we have this broken trend line and we have retest, and this could happen. So what's gonna basically happen now is that I think that the market could be moving to the sideways, you know, and the people who early shorted to pin them out, and then maybe the drop is gonna happen. So I'm watching this one closely as well, and what I will be waiting for is that I'm not gonna enter the short now. What I will be watching is that if this bottom will be broken, then I will be looking for the retest and the trade. And if the market will be moving the higher into the zone of these previous profiles, I'll be looking to take a short here. Sorry for this, sometimes it's changing, and wait, yeah, this one is correct. So if the price move higher around here, I will be looking to short it, because this is the zone, this level, this profile from where the proper selling started with nice rising volume in a bit, but it is there. So technically this should drop. However, now I think that we are in the zone where the banks are playing the games, and it's, you know, you can see that everyone who was shorted, who shorted this pair already here, the people who shorted it here, and they didn't take the profit. So basically here is mostly the stop losses. So they're taking out the stop losses of the shorters. You see, you know. So this one I'm waiting, and I believe it's gonna drop, but it's not so clear for me, because I don't wanna go with the crowd, and I believe the crowd is already selling it. So I wait for now. On the 4 hours chart, nothing clear. It's okay, some movements, but this is not what I trade, you know. I mean, you can have 100 pips here. However, I actually had one trade. I actually took the trade here on the first impact, but I closed it somewhere here with the 90 pips. And this one now I'm not interested. However, we will see if it will break or not. So let's continue for the next one. Okay, this one is CAD and on the weekly chart. I'm basically looking for this long-term trade higher, because we have okay, maybe someone is thinking that I'm crazy, that I'm drawing this 3 months trend line and like this 3 months, 6 months supply zones. However, these levels are very important for me as well, because if you look to the monthly, we can see that the market is the composition is on the uptrend. It's like the beginning of the uptrend, and this zone, this 6 months, 3 month zones from where the market bounced, is very strong one, and this trend line is being supported now. So, and I see the weak euro and as well the weak CAD, but I think the CAD can win this fight. So so for me, definitely long. The thing is that I had actually my long pending order in here. When I saw this break, I had my pending order here. However, I wasn't executed. I wasn't taken to the trade. So this movement higher happened without me. And as I said, we are now all the JPY pairs getting to the supply zones from where we could get some retracements. So I will be waiting patiently till this market drop to pick me up into the trade. So for this one, I'm looking for the longs. Of course, the intraday, if happens something like break, retest and drop lower, that could be potential short trade for the intraday traders. However, it's not any interesting for me for now, so I skip this chart. This is the Euro CAD. Euro CAD is for me this one is a very tricky one, because what is happening here, we can see that on the daily we had this uptrend and we have this broken trend line. However, does it mean that if we have broken trend line that the trend is changed? Of course it does not. If the trend line is broken, that means that we are in the consolidation and the market is now in this consolidation zone. So if this happens, that the market breaks lower, then the trend is changed. However, now it's still in the consolidation, and why I don't want to take a trade yet, because it's because of this simple reason, and let me show you on the weekly chart, because look where we are now here. We are now exactly here. Let me change it to the weekly. So we are still moving around this monthly weekly trend line. Yeah? You can see that it was broken, then the price higher, and now it's moving somewhere. As I expect the weak CAD, but the euro is not any stronger, so this is like nothing which tells me where the market could go, and this trade doesn't have the edge which I'm looking for to get into the trade. So for now I skip this chart. This is the euro pound as well, another one boring chart. We can see that this is what I'm expecting in the long term. In the long term we have, okay, let's call this downtrend because there is a lower lows created, so I can draw the trend line technically, and we have this supply zone which is being respected, and I believe that this one could drop, that the pound will be stronger than the euro. However, it's no edge for me as well, so I skip this chart and I don't trade this one. So now we are getting to the euro yen. Euro yen is a very nice pair to trade, and I actually have a very good trade which I entered here on the low where the market was the breaking. So we have the trade from here around the 300 pips already, and the similar situation as all yen pairs, we getting into the supply. So I will be expecting something like a rebound. A lot of people around the Facebook, so this so-called money managers or the analysts, they drawing something like that from this supply. The market should drop somewhere, I don't know where. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they are wrong, because if we look to the weekly chart, we can see that we are actually in the monthly uptrend, and we have this on this weekly. We have this nice downtrend line which was broken here with the pretty strong volume. You can see that these candles are supported with the strong volume, and we have this break which created this nice demand zone when the trend line is broken, and here is nothing what should stop us to the move higher. So basically this could go pretty high. Let's see. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna close the part of my position around 131. I will close it here, and then I will just lock the stop loss. So then I will see if the market is going up or not. Basically we will see that. So yeah, so this is it for this one. So euro yen, I'm definitely bullish, on the bullish side. This is the euro kiwi. Euro kiwi is pretty tricky one. We can see that very much sideways action on the weekly chart. However, what I like on this pair is this, that we can see that always when the market drop lower, we can see the support with the volume. Every time when it's moving higher, we can see that it's supported. A lot of people as well around these trading groups, they already are shorting it, and what we can see that basically I can bet you that a lot of retail traders are already shorting it as well. So where is the euro kiwi? Euro kiwi is here, so you can see a lot of people, like 81% of the retail is already in the short trade. If you look to the bank's positions, we can see that the kiwi is heavily shorted, and the euro is getting this higher close. So I don't see any reason why to take a short here. Basically a lot of people are shorting it because they think maybe, okay, it's high, so if it's up, I'm gonna short it. But it's not always the case, So as I said, look at this. Look, when the market was dropping lower, you can see we dropping lower, the volume is going down. When the market is going up, the volume is rising. So this is basically bullish. And only one reason why I'm not gonna take a long now is the simple, as I said, that if I take a long here and I put stop loss here, it's a very big chance that I will be taken out first. So what I'm gonna do is that basically, to be safe with my stop loss and have an entry here, and so where I have to put my stop loss? So I have to put my stop loss here, which is basically a lot of, which is pretty big. Sorry for that. Which is pretty. I mean, you know, who would like to enter with 500 stop loss to like 500, like 1-to-1? It doesn't give me the edge. So what I expect is that the market will go basically. They will definitely go lower to take out these maybe to get more shorters, you know. So what can happen is that the market can come lower here. They will make some quick spike and then breaks higher. For me, it would be ideal trade if they drop into this demand zone, which is the zone from where this big move up started and absorbed this supply zone. As well, around here is this cluster of this monthly point of control. So this zone will be very nice to take along for me. Definitely, I don't expect something like this. You know, even the euro is weak, but I think the Kiwi is a weaker one. So yeah, so I'm not sure about shorting this one. This is a GBP, Aussie, pound Aussie. So this one is basically doing nothing. We can see on the weekly we had this trend line which was broken, which created this supply zone, and now we are like 4 weeks below this supply zone. However, only one thing which tells me that is bullish, that we see this nice volume in this pin bar, and we getting this higher close. So this could be stronger. The pound could be stronger than the Aussie. However, I'm not gonna take a trade yet, because what I want to see first is this break through this consolidation, then retest, and then continuation higher, which could probably comes in these levels to retest this trend line, or someone who's using this supply demand analysis to come into this supply zone. So when this happens, I will be interested in taking a trade. For this moment, when the market is happening something like this, I'm not interested in doing anything. So I don't do anything now, and I'm watching it closely for the move higher, because on the monthly we are in the uptrend. So yeah, basically yes. Okay, this is the pound CAD. Pound CAD is my big favorite for the long, for the one reason we can see that the pound is getting stronger, and we see this broken trend line, we saw the stops, and we seeing this one. While in this consolidation, all the time the bottoms are with the volume, which is nice, supporting. You can see the spin bar, then retest of the spin bar, and now we are down here. So this one is my big favorite for the getting on the long, because I expect a weaker CAD than the pound. Because look at if we look to the pound chart, we see this broken trend line with the pin bar, and the CAD is just like nothing happening in there, so strong. So on the weekly we can see that we are like in some no man's land. It's not any clear scenario, but on the daily I believe that we will get there before we will probably could take any short from here, but it's a long time to the future. For now, as I said, I'm going to get into the long trade, and we have set our robot for the long term into the going long, and you will see, my friends, we will be getting a lot of profit on this one. Okay, this is a pound yen. Pound yen, I have an amazing trade with my members in the group, which we entered somewhere here on the bottoms, and now we are getting higher here, and as well we are getting into this supply zone, which will probably move the price a little bit lower, which is already happened. If we check on the 4-hour chart, we can see that this first impact which caused this drop and now we are getting back again. So we can see that the market dropped down with the low volume, and with the high volume we are now getting back. So it's telling me that the weak yen is in the play, and this one could go a little bit higher. However, what could happen, the first is that this drop could be much bigger, where I will enter another trade before I go higher. If we look to the weekly chart, we can see that we are below this supply zone, which caused the break of this trend line. But this price action in this consolidation, we can see that we are having these nice pin bars with the strong volumes. Always when it dropped lower, it was supported. So we can see that basically we can maybe get this higher. For my case, if I don't have a trade, I would not take any action yet, because maybe you can take, as an intraday trader, you can take a short, for sure. This is high probability it could happen, but for the longs it's too late, you know, or maybe too early. So what I do, I have my trade, I look at stop loss, I will be getting interesting to take another long. If not, I will get out with those zeros, so nothing can happen, because we already closed the half of position. On the long term, I believe that this could be still more bullish. Okay, this one is pound Kiwi. We are on the weekly time frame. So what do I see here as a similar situation? Look at this trend line, then the retest, but look at this bullish candle. This bullish candle with this volume is it's a very strong break. Then we closed above this trend line, and we have again the pin bar. So this is very bullish This is very bullish chart. And if I look into the daily as well, so what do I see here? We had this uptrend, we have this broken trend line, and we are getting now again in this zone where there is a lot of fight right now on this time frame. And what do I wait is that if it breaks higher and absorb this supply zone, which will create new demand zone, I will be looking to take a longs here with the stop losses below this tested demand zone, and of course below these profiles. So pound Kiwi is bullish for me, but I need to see the clear break of this and the confirmation. This is the Kiwi CAD. Kiwi CAD is a very tricky situation. I mean, it's not so tricky, but look at this. So what do we have? We had this nice uptrend where we had amazing trade. Then it dropped lower, and it created nice new area for the shorts. And we have a very weak Kiwi and very weak CAD. However, I believe that the CAD is stronger, and it will be stronger because the market dynamics of this chart is telling me that it's gonna be this situation. So if the market comes higher, because the best opportunities of course could be when the market comes back into this profile or into this supply zone to take a shorts here. However, I don't think the market could come maybe so high, or maybe it could come there. But what I'm gonna do, my plan is strictly to take one short here, another short here. I split the positions on the 1/2 with the stop losses above this supply zone and above this profile, which caused this strong sell-off. So this could be the area which will be protected with the bears. And I want to be sure to be in this trade, so I will take the one trade here, which I expect to get a bigger drawdown if it goes higher, and I will nicely build the position. So So I will take one trade here, another one here. If the market goes higher, and I will be watching what is happening here. If the market is going to this area, then dropping lower, and if of course it's dropping lower, I never can know what's gonna happen, you know, even watching the banks, watching everything, the price action, you never know what's gonna happen. So always we have to use the risk management. So if the market is going then lower, then on some retests I will be adding some more shorts. Then here I will close the one positions, I will lock these two, and I will let the market drop slower. If it will be still dropping, and then I will be adding more trades on the retests. So this is the plan. It's like every trades which I'm actually planning. I never looking like for some intraday trades, but what I'm looking for, and I'm aiming to take a long-term trade where I could even potentially, you know, playing this game, you know. So like for example hit this one, you know, pound chef on the daily chart. You know, I think you are sure, I'm sure that you see it as well. So you can see the broken trend line. When the trend line is broken, we are getting into the consolidation. Of course it doesn't mean that we already go up, because what can of course happen, the trend line could be broken, then the market is going lower again. So what then you do? You then can redraw the trend line again like this, you know. So the trend was like this, you know. So that doesn't mean that if we have the broken trend line that the trend is already changed. That means that we're getting into the consolidation phase. When we get from the consolidation phase, it means that we need to see the break of this high, then the nice retests and potential entering trades in here is good ones, you know. Of course you can take a trade from the retest of the trend lines, which I'm doing as well, but you of course shouldn't target higher than these highs of the consolidations. So basically this situation can be traded, and it's already late for the first trade to take here and enter out here. And now we will see if the market is breaking higher or not. How do I know that it's gonna probably go higher? Is that I see, you know, when I'm watching the volume, I can see that we get this one. I don't take any seriously, because I don't see it in any other broker. I always compare the volume from the two brokers. So this is the Oanda, this is the FXCM, and if some spike like this occur in both brokers, then it's valid for me. As you can see, this one, yeah, this one is valid, this one not valid, this one not valid. So what do I see here is that look, yeah, we're getting here in this area, and we are getting like some bullish movement up with the nice volume. Then it's moving sideways. You can see nothing, and then again the moving higher, and there was some volume, you know. And then the spin bar is without volume, because it's basically doing in this area. So there is some undecision. So there's not many trades going on. But if is it on these lows, the people are attracted into the buying. So what does this tells me is that this consolidation is the bullish one, and that the market will go up. What as well tells me that this could go up is basically this. If we look into the we are looking to the Kiwi, and what do I see? I see that the banks are very bearish on the Kiwi. You see, they don't want it. They don't have any longs. They have shorts, you know. So this tells me that they don't want a Kiwi. That Kiwi will be weak. And if I look here on the pound, I do not see that they are any stronger on the Kiwi, but I still see that they are not so aggressively shorts as on the Kiwi. They are on the shorts, more on the short side, but that is not so aggressive as on the Kiwi. Look at that, how red is my data, yeah? So this is more aggressive for me than basically this one. So this is what tells me. And let's check what the what the retail traders think about this. Let's check what the retail traders think. So yeah, so retail traders thinks it's long. So basically, maybe they could be right. So let's see what's gonna happen on this one. But for me, definitely, if the market drops lower, which is probably happen, because if the retail traders are long, that means that they took long somewhere here after break of this trend line. Mostly when this happen, because this retest, look, this retest of the trend line, it's not clear retest, this one. Why is it like that again? So let me clear that. This retest is not the clear retest of the trend line. So they basically, what they're doing is they're trying to attract this long people into the longs, and I believe that we will get some more retest before we will go up, or maybe at least into this demand zone. We will see. So let's see, and I'm interested into get into the long. So how to do it? The best way would be maybe to choose the first trade with the small position with the wider stop loss, and then add the full positions lower with this the take profit. So this is basically what I'm doing most of the time. I'm trying to separate, because when the first time try, you can take the stop loss, and you don't see that you are getting the bullish shift. You don't add the second position. So you add the first bomb, they dropping lower. If you are wrong, you get the stop loss and you are out with the half loss. Then you should be usually when you get here. But what you can do is you can as well add the first bomb here, second bomb here, if you see that they getting the stronger bullish shift, and then market is going up, and actually already in the middle, which is average, you are on the break even already, and then you can go up. So this is probably how I'm gonna trade it. So let's see. This is the Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. This one is these two currencies are both very weak for me. However, I still expect that the franc is gonna be maybe the weaker one, and let's see what's gonna happen here. If the market drops lower, I will be looking for that. However, this trade is not the big probability for me. Maybe it's similar like the other chart, so I can put like 2 trades here. One with the wider stop loss, and yeah. So this one it needs for me to see the charts more, see the more confirmation what's gonna be happening during the week. So if it goes up, probably it goes up straight away, because let's see this one. This one is a little bit tricky. This is the Kiwi, and Kiwi and I already have a long trade, and as I said, we all yen pairs we are getting into the zone. So I don't believe this one will go too much higher. So I will adjust my take profit around this profile, or better even below the profile, and I have locked take profit stop loss, I wanted to say. So basically this one is a nice trade, but I'm not gonna open any new trade on this one. So this is the Aussie, Singaporean dollar. It's I found this chart. It's a very nice one. It's I like like every pair is having like different movements, and I pretty like this one. I pretty like this one because of the movements, and it doesn't have a too very big spread, and I expect this one to go higher as well, because I saw the broken trend line. I see this volume support the volume on the bottoms. Always when the market is moving higher, the volume is going up, moving higher, volume up. See, retest with the low volume, and now we could be here, close half position, log the take profit, lock the stop loss, and take profit here, it could work. Very nice. So basically this is probably everything from me, and you can see that what I'm doing, what I'm trading. So I don't think my trading style is any special. I don't do nothing extra, only basically watching the price action, watching these guys, what they're doing. You know, sometimes it's easily to trade, to watch their game. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes you understand it, sometimes not. However, it gives me a lot of clue what they could be possibly doing. But you must be careful with them, because they are motherfuckers and they are doing a lot of hedging. And of course they know that we are actually reading this report. They know that we are watching it, you know. So this what is mostly happening. Let's check this. It was here on the USD chart, yeah. USD chart, you can see, because the most movements gonna happen on the Wednesday. And why it's gonna happen on the Wednesday? Look, let me show you this. Yes, so let's check the USD chart. USD chart, let's check this here. No. It was USD Japanese yen. Yeah, this one. So let's check here. USD JPY. So look, not this one. So they basically know that we are checking this. So what's gonna happen is that they reported on this Tuesday, that they reported these numbers, yes, but so you can see 100, but we can see these numbers on the Friday. So basically every time when they reported this, then they do some big movements. So we don't know what they did now, if they added longs or if they did this movement and they've been adding shorts, which is probably happened, because I can see it already in here. Look at this, yeah. So with this last report, they added 100,000 longs, but they added as well the shorts. When they added these shorts, and they moved price this higher, so they probably having the shorts and they adding the shorts already here as well. And when they added these numbers of the longs to move the price higher, they probably close them here, then they maintaining these shorts and they can move the price lower again. Yeah, so this is a lot of people ask me this week about these COT reports and how do I trade it, how do I work with it and the things. So I want to say that I don't have any special technique, and there is not some some rules, you know, what to do, because I believe it's a lot of about the feeling, how often you watch this, how long you watch this, and then you find then you start to see some interesting things, you know. And as well, what is very interesting, actually it's not interesting but it's true, you look the banks are bullish, yes, and if you look to the retail traders and you check USD JPY, here USD JPY, the retail traders are bearish, yes. So you can see that 80% of the retail traders are bearish and the banks are bullish, and mostly the retail traders, what they gonna do, they mostly gonna lose. So yeah, so this is something what I'm using for the my, let's say, the sentiment trading, or maybe the fundamentals, or I don't know, and it works for me, and I think it's not any difficult to use it, you know. Look as well, here you can see the Euro Aussie, 63% of the traders are on the shorts. So basically I think that they first must clear these stop losses, you know. Euro JPY shorts, Aussie CAD, there is a longs, Aussie yen. Look, Aussie Kiwi shorts and market is moving higher. Euro CAD shorts, market is moving higher. Euro CHF shorts and market is moving higher. So basically, I don't know why is it. Look, euro Kiwi market is going higher, retail traders shorts, you know, so they are always wrong, you know, and you don't want to basically trade. Look, USD CHF, the retail traders are shorts, and of course USD CHF, we saw what happened there. Look, the market is going up, you know, so basically always the retail traders are wrong. So even if you don't have any good strategy, you can use just these basically, you know, trend lines, the levels, and watch what the banks are doing, what the retail traders are doing, and you don't want to trade with the crowd because you are not the sheep. And I tell you, the sheeps, they always lose, you know. Sheeps on the market. So look, CHF yen is long. Look, this one is okay. Look, pound Kiwi. This is the one which I was thinking to go long. So as well, here I'm going to take a long. And if we look, the retail traders, they think it's going short. So what do you think? Do you think that if the banks are holding like they are like weak longs on the pound, but the fucking bearish strong shorts on the Kiwi, and the retail traders are shorts, do you think this one will drop? I don't think so. I think that this one will continue up because these retail traders, do you know where to put the take profit? The basically where's gonna be the stop losses? Like in every book, like in every I don't know, trading videos, they always tells you, you know, let's say, because they saw this trend line, so they think, you know, oh, retest of the trend line, let's short it, you know, it's work for these people, but no one traded here. Most of the retail traders, when they see the market is dropping, so they open shorts. So they open the shorts here and the market is going up. This is always going the opposite. So, and where basically they have a stop losses. So there's going to be some stop losses. There's going to be stop losses, and the best ones will be, not maybe the best ones, they will have the stop losses here. So what basically the markets must have to do now is it has to go up, to take them out, you know, then maybe it could drop lower, which is this is mostly happening, you know. This is why the people are chasing the market. When this market will go up to take these stop losses, then it will create a new demand zone here. It will go up. These people will take the stop losses. When they take the stop losses, that means that the longs are sold. This is always on the market must be 1 to 1. This you know, sometimes you can hear that there is a more sellers than the buyers, and it's bullshit. There cannot be more sellers than the buyers. There has to be always 1 to 1, but the sellers could be more aggressive than the buyers. Yeah. So what could happen is that the market will go to take the stop losses when it breaks higher. So you can see that it will be breaking this one. So as well as they will clear out these stop losses, they will take in the game the breakout traders. When the breakout traders will be taking the longs, they will drop down to take their stop losses, and so it's gonna happen again. You know, these people gonna take the stop losses. There's gonna be new people getting into the longs, into the shorts. Sorry. And when they drop in into this area, which was the area which broke this trend line, and as well broke in through to this one and created a new trend. In this area, when they drop here, there's gonna be like massive longing, you know, from here. This mostly happen so they create the area. So it's something like here, you know. They went up, they went down again for the stop losses. You know, the area, retest, and bam, you know, the move higher, you know. It's something similar like here, you know. Market comes here, you know, these people, they went down. So the retest, these people was shorting, they move it higher, you know, again. So these people who was shorting here, let me clear this. You know, these people who was shorting here, they had stop losses here. So they went up to clear it out, you know. Then the breakout traders, which entered here, they had stop losses here, you know, so they went down to clear them out. But with this move lower, they created this area, and then when they going up again, so, and boom, you know, then they moving a little faster, because then they didn't give the chance again. So this is what's gonna happen, something similar like here, you know. So market is always trying to play out against these retail traders. So I can suggest you to watch this, and it will give you the more clue what is going on the market, what is the real sentiments, what is playing on, and it will gives you the more accuracy into your price action. And this is what I was talking about in one group this week. It's called Forex price action. A lot of people told me I am bad and blah 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 blah. Maybe they're right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know who really knows how the market works, but I'm doing what I think it's happening, and I'm following the big players, and I'm going against the weak players, and it works for me, and yeah, it's basically works for me. And this is it, and this is everything from me this week, and I wish you have a great rest of the Sunday, and I see you on the markets. And visit my Telegram channel, visit the links below my video, because there is the links where you can get and create your CFTC report as well, and there is all the links which you need. And this is it, bye bye.